Okay. Wait a minute. So you're trying to tell me that after 19 waves of figures, 19 waves of figures between 5 and 6 per set, not counting variants, and also not counting the exclusive figures in the 2-pack, the Gotham 5-pack, the Injustice Society, of all these figures that are available, the one you're bringing back for Wave 20 is this guy? Hey, friends and revolutionaries! Don't worry, it's not a rerun. It's not a rerun. This is a, I don't want to, no, it's a step back. There we go. We're going to step back in toy collecting to visit an old friend by the name of the DC Universe Classic Series. And this is the DC Universe Classic Series Wave 20. And obviously we're taking a look at Sinestro. And we'll talk about all that here in a minute. But DC Universe Classic Sinestro, the last in the official DC Universe Wave series. You know, not talking about the All-Stars, we're gonna talk about that later, but from the actual DCUC various waves, Wave 20 was the last one, and I'm gonna reserve my opinion until the end. At the end, when we're putting things together, we'll have a little discussion about how things ended with the series. But I can just tell you up front, starting with Sinestro, I'm a little disappointed. I was a little disappointed to see the DC Universe series ending on this note. We're going to go ahead and take a look at Sinestro first because he strikes me as being the odd one out. He strikes me, of the 7 figures that are in the series, 8 if you count Necron, the Build-A-Figure, Sinestro really strikes me as the odd one out. Now, for anyone who doesn't know, Necron was the Toy Fair magazine. If anybody remembers Toy Fair, oh, I miss Toy Fair. If anybody remembers, they had a fan poll to find out who the next Build-A-Figure or Collecting Connect should be, and Necron won. Well, keeping with the pattern that the Build-A-Figure should in some way have something to do with at least one of the characters in the wave, we get Necron and Sinestro. Now, I know that we've got the White Lantern Flash, and you could make the argument that these 3 kind of go together, but it's the Flash, and really I think the White Flash, Red Flash, whatever, and the Reverse Flash, those 2 kind of go together there, and Sinestro strikes me as the odd one out. Yes, you could say that he and the White Flash are actually the ones, and Reverse Flash is the odd man out. You could say that, but honestly, we've got a Sinestro before. This is not the first time we've seen Sinestro. Sinestro was released in Wave 3, and not just the Green Lantern Sinestro, the variant Sinestro Corps Sinestro. Or no, I'm sorry, it was his blue and black outfit was Wave 3. But there was the Sinestro Corps variant. So even this Sinestro has already been put out. Now, not this one specifically, because, you know, from what I understand, that mold has gone bye-bye. But a Sinestro Corps Sinestro as a regular character, as one of the space fillers, number 5, which they're nice enough to tell us is the head of Necron, he actually takes up a whole spot. The variant from an earlier series is a regular figure in this. That's disappointing. That is disappointing. And another reason why, among a few of the other characters that we're going to be taking a look at, really makes me feel that I'm going to be disappointed in what they've done. Maybe not in the figures themselves, but in how the wave ended up, and in turn how the whole series ended. But that's my little preview rant. I'm not going to do that for the others. We're going to go ahead and start taking a look at Sinestro. First off, we've got the DCUC packaging. The packaging that we came to know at the end with the yellow and orange explosion. We've got Superman at the top, as he should be. Got Flash, Aquaman, or excuse me, Green Lantern, Flash, Aquaman, Batman, and, you know, I'm surprised I don't have Wonder Woman. I don't know if I've ever mentioned that. Of the 5 colored characters, no Wonder Woman. Actually, she's over Superman's shoulder, it looks like, with Green Lantern again. Okay, well, Wonder Woman fans, I apologize. But there's Sinestro in the center of the explosion. Got the Sinestro Corps logo there. And on the bottom, so that if you keep your figures stacked on top of each other, you can tell that's the Sinestro, or one of the Sinestro Corps members. On the back, we've got the heroes and villains from the DC universe. Biography. Sinestro was chosen to patrol Space Sector 1417 as its Green Lantern, but instead he ruled Quarg with an emerald fist. Eventually, the Quagarians freed themselves and exposed Sinestro's abuse of power. The Guardians of the Universe stripped Sinestro of his mantle and power ring, subsequently banishing him to the Antimatter Universe's Quarg. Armed with a yellow power ring and allied with the Quagarians, Sinestro started his own army known as the Sinestro Corps. Now, this is a time when there had already been 2 waves of Green Lantern from the DC Universe, 2 dedicated Green Lantern waves, and a wave dedicated to the War of the Rings with the yellow Scarecrow, the blue Atom, the orange Luthor. So, another reason why getting Sinestro here seems so strange. So very strange. Statistics: first appearance Green Lantern, 2nd series, number 7. Real name Sinestro. Okay. Occupation supervillain, intergalactic criminal. Basis of operations, formerly Quarg. Currently the Antimatter Universe, Quargar, and then Cord. I'm saying these completely wrong, I know. Special abilities: yellow power ring projects fear to create yellow power constructs. It is a powerful and deadly weapon in direct opposition to Green Lantern's power ring. So he is the anti-Green Lantern, if you will. Warning, small parts. Okay, but that's taking a look back at the figure in the box. Let's pop Sinestro out, get a look at this version of him, and have some fun. Be right back. All right, we've got Sinestro out of the pack, and I just can't help asking why. Why? Why? I have a few answers. None of them are very good, but why? Of all the figures that were available, to re-release a variant from an earlier wave is just baffling to me. I mean, it's a good Sinestro, no doubt. No doubt, it is a good Sinestro. The lines are clean. The black, it's nice sharp black against the yellow, which has good clean lines. I mean, it's a very impressively put together figure. I think one of the complaints about the Wave 3 Sinestro was that the Sinestro Corps logo, both on his chest and his armband, I think had some problems. They would get scratched or worn. You know, they weren't very high quality at the time. So in some ways, this could have been an opportunity for Mattel to make good on that, on some of the shortcomings of the earlier version. Could be. That's being generous. But it still amazes me that for a figure like, say, Harley Quinn from Wave 2, if you remember Harley from Wave 2, she had that weird blue 5 o'clock shadow kind of thing going on her face. So what did they do? They did the Mad Love pack and gave her a completely pale face along with the Joker in a black suit. Great idea. You know, if you're going to re-release earlier versions of the characters, particularly in their variant versions, you know, doing them in those 2-packs is definitely a better way to go, considering that this was the last wave of the series, and there were so many more characters that were deserving to be in it. You know, you don't have to think any further back than the DC superheroes line. There was Steel. Steel was in the superhero line. Never made it to the DC universe. Who else? Clark Kent. The Clark Kent figure. If you know, there's a 2-pack with Superman and Clark Kent, which is basically a Superman head with glasses sculpted in a suit. The Clark Kent figure. Brainiac. The only DC Universe version of Brainiac. Oh, I'm not even going to get into it. But there was the DC superhero version that they would have had a great opportunity to bring back here, and yet we get Sinestro. It's just baffling to me. It's baffling. But yeah, let me talk about this figure. This is a great looking Sinestro. Again, he utilizes the dead man body, the dead man mold. I understand that the mold from the Wave 3 figure, I don't know, it just wasn't available. I don't know what happened. That's why we've not seen Sinestro until now. Much like his blue and black version, good example of a 2-pack. The blue and black version that was part of the Toys R Us exclusive 2-pack, the constructs of Will and Fear that use the exact same body. As a matter of fact, it's the exact same figure, but painted it as blue and black. They just took that figure and painted him up in the Sinestro core, and rather than doing, you know, maybe a 3-pack with him and maybe a couple of his lackeys, they put him as another figure in this set, in Wave 20. It's so disappointing. The body, I mean, again, the colors are great. Yellow is always a difficult color to work with. You know, I give props that the color on here, the way it came out, is beautifully done. It looks really, really great. Another way you can tell that this was the dead man body is that the boot, you can kind of see a 2-tone gold along the top, barely. On the Wave 3 figure, there was actually like a sculpted lip on his boot that's not here. It's just the dead man body with the boot painted on. And then, you know, resculpting the wristbands and his collar. And the belt. Small cosmetic things. Uses the same head. The same Sinestro head that we've gotten over and over and over. You know, I mean, we've got tons of Batman in this series. And eventually, even Batman got a clenched teeth, kind of raging look. You know, a new look on Sinestro, a new head at least, would have been appreciated. You know, if you're going to use up the entire slot of a figure for a pre-release variant, at least give us a new head. At least. But just like other DC Universe figures, particularly because he's based off the Deadman mold, the head does turn left and right. There is a full ball joint, looks up and down. Arm comes up, out, twists the shoulder, elbow, or bicep, elbow, wrist, which there's Sinestro's ring. Twist at the waist, full crunch, leg come up, out, twist to the thigh, knee, and foot. So all the staples of the DC Universe wave brought all the way to the final set. Oop. So a very fair Sinestro. Again, if you didn't get him previously, if you didn't get him from the early waves, and you didn't customize your own with the yellow core figures that had started to come out, then yeah, I would say this is a decent figure to have. This is a good figure to have. But if you have been collecting them, or you know, if if you have access to them, then it's a little redundant and really belonged more in a 2-pack, just like when they re-released Azrael, when they re-released Gentleman Ghost with Hawk Girl, when they redid Black Manta with Aquaman. You know, these bringing back these earlier figures, these earlier characters in the 2-packs seem to be a better way to go, and I'm not going to let it go. The Sinestro was just a bit of a waste. It was a bit of a waste of a slot. Now, especially with Brainiac, Steel, Clark Kent, you know, all those other DC superhero characters that had already been put out that could have been brought back in, that could have been brought back. I mean, Steel's like the only one we're missing from the reign of Superman. It's like the only one. Why couldn't we have gotten Steel again? His accessory, he comes with a yellow lantern. Not something we haven't seen before. Sarcastically. Not something we haven't seen before. I was just thinking that, you know, rather than doing a yellow lantern, which we've got plenty of these, you know, if we could have gotten a new head, and then even maybe a cheapo Sinestro ring. You know, a cheapo Sinestro, you know, yellow ring that you could have worn. You know, it seems as though that it seems very lazy that we get another Sinestro or Green Lantern or Lantern of any kind and another actual lantern accessory, chunk of plastic in the lantern mold. You know, not much thought or effort seems to have been put into it. It's really kind of disappointing. I think the fact that we get Necron's head, who looks like he's going to be pretty impressive once the rest of him gets put together, is one of the only reasons why, you know, we got Sinestro here. You know, the leader of the Core of Fear, and then of course the Black Lantern of Necron. You know, just so the Build-A-Figure can have some connection to one of the figures in the wave, we get this Sinestro. Whether or not that's the right way to go, I'm not sure. I'm not all that impressed. But he's just the first figure in the wave. We've got 5 more left to go. Have to see how they turn out. Hope you enjoyed watching. Rate, comment, subscribe, join the revolution. We'll see you soon. Bye-bye.